He spent years hiding the man who raised him, until the mirror of time showed him who he truly was. This is the son who mocked his father's hands. As a child, Jay hated holding his father's hand. They were thick, leathery things, covered in old scars, dirt no soap could wash out, nails stained with years of engine grease and wood glue. His classmates would point and laugh when his father picked him up from school, waving enthusiastically with those cracked fingers. "Is your dad a farmer or something?" one boy had teased. Jay lied. "No, he just works a lot outside." But the truth embarrassed him. His father was a handyman, fixing everything from leaky pipes to broken chairs in the village to support his family. When he did have the time to spare, he loved wood carving and was proud of it. He worked with his hands because he had no degree, no suit, no clean desk job. At night, when they sat down to eat, his father always reached out to pass the rice, those same hands serving with gentle care. Jay never looked at them. He avoided photos with him, told him to wait outside school gates, out of sight. His father never said anything. He was standing next to his dad on a school career day, watching the other kids' parents in crisp suits and white coats. His father had brought a handmade birdhouse and talked proudly about craftsmanship. Jay had stared at the floor the entire time. Until one day, it happened. A group of boys had gathered outside their house to walk to a movie. Mr. Park had come out to say hi, his hands stained with varnish, from a chair he was restoring. Jay, flustered and 14, had muttered under his breath, "He's kind of embarrassing sometimes." He didn't think his father had heard. But when he glanced up, he saw the way his dad stood there, still, quiet. That smile never reaching his eyes again for the rest of the day. They never spoke of it, but something had shifted. Years passed. Jay went away to attend university, got a good-paying job and life in the city. He rarely calls home. Conversations were short, mechanical. His father never complained. He only ever said, "I'm proud of you, son." Jay got engaged, invited his parents to the wedding, of course, but kept them on the edge of the planning. He booked their hotel, told them what to wear, asked his father specifically to wear gloves for the photos. Gloves on his own wedding day. His father smiled and agreed. The suite smelled faintly of cologne and nerves. Young groom, Jay, standing in front of the full-length mirror in a luxury hotel suite. He is stressed, tugging at his cufflinks for the third time. There was a knock at the door. And there it was. Those hands, rough, cracked, knotted with years of hard work, scarred like the grain of old wood. They held a small comb and a crooked smile. "Son, thought that you might need a hand," Mr. Park said. Up close, Jay could smell the familiar scent, wood shavings, pine soap, something faintly metallic. "You're going to be a good man," he said. Jay didn't reply. "Dad, maybe let the groomsmen help me today. They've got the whole thing scheduled." His father paused. Something passed behind his eyes. Not sadness, something older, quieter. He nodded, stepped back, and left the room without another word. Back in the hotel room, Jay was trying to gather himself. The groomsmen joked around, passing flasks and last-minute advice. He smiled at the right moments, but wasn't really present. Then his bride-to-be, Yuna, knocked gently and poked her head in. "This was left for you at the concierge," she said, handing him a small, weathered wooden box. Inside was a single photograph, Jay at age 8, squinting with pride beside a crooked birdhouse. His father crouched beside him, sawdust in his hair, beaming. Beneath it, a small handwritten card, "Built with these hands, like everything I gave you." Jay felt something catch in his chest. He looked down at his own palms. They weren't smooth anymore, not like they were in college. There were tiny familiar calluses at the base of his fingers, from the late nights typing reports, from building the crib when their baby came early, from assembling furniture in their first apartment, from fixing the water heater with nothing but YouTube and stubbornness. His hands looked like his father's now. He didn't wait. Jay sprinted down the hallway, tie flapping, past confused guests and startled staff. He found his father sitting on a bench outside, by the garden where the ceremony would be. "Dad," he said, breathless. Mr. Park looked up slowly. He knelt, eye to eye, and the words all came tumbling out. I thought those hands were something to hide, but they built everything I stood on, everything I am. I was ashamed, not of you, just of how people looked at you. And I let that shape how I saw you too. I was wrong. Mr. Park didn't speak for a moment. Then he reached forward and adjusted Jay's crooked tie. His fingers trembled, but his touch was sure. They walked back to the venue together. The ceremony was beautiful. There were cherry blossoms, a perfect blue sky, a string quartet. The next day, at the family brunch, Jay stood to give a toast. He hadn't planned one, but he looked at his father, sitting quietly at the corner table, hands folded, and spoke. "There's someone here today who taught me the most important lessons without ever saying a word," he said. "Someone I haven't thanked enough." His voice trembled. "When I was young, I used to be ashamed of my father's hands. I thought they looked wrong, dirty. I didn't understand what they meant." He paused, staring down at his own hands. "Today, I looked at mine, and they look the same, not because I do what he did, but because I now understand what it means to carry something, to build something, with love." His father lifted his head. Jay's eyes welled up. He looked straight at his father. "Appa, I'm sorry. I saw the calluses, but I didn't see the care. I saw the cracks, but I didn't see the strength. You built this life for me with those hands. You worked so I could dream. And now I carry that forward, with mine." Silence. Then his father stood, walked over. He took Jay's hand, held it. For the first time, Jay didn't pull away. "You know," Mr. Park said finally, "you've always had my hands. You just didn't see it yet." Jay smiled. "Now I do, and I hope my son will too." That night, long after the music faded and the guests had gone, Jay sat beside his father. In the hush of the night, no words were needed, just two pairs of hands, rough, worn, and full of love. Years later, Jay's son would ask, "Why are your hands so rough, Dad?" And Jay would smile, "Because I use them to hold on to what matters." He would tell his son about his grandfather, about sacrifice, about mistakes and the grace that comes after. Because some lessons don't arrive with thunder, they come with a quiet hand on your shoulder, and a lifetime of love finally seen. This is Karma's reflection. That was a valuable lesson learned by Jay, because what you ridicule may be the hands that raised you. We don't get to choose the hands that raise us, but sometimes, if we're lucky, we grow into them, and in that quiet resemblance we find our greatest inheritance. We don't always recognize love when it's handed to us, especially when it comes with scraped knuckles and tired eyes. But sometimes it's the roughest hands that held us the most gently. For more timeless stories, karmic truths, and lessons for the soul, like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel.